university club. Does anybody, Eric, do you know what the university club is? No. Okay, so here's what the university club, FYI, this is really good information for you. The university club was started by people that have graduated from universities. These are all minimum bachelor's level, master's level, PhD level intellects that have nice money, right? And they created this club, and it is worldwide, and I didn't even know this. They created this club so that they could have an intelligent conversation with somebody that was on their level. Isn't that cool? Right? But of course, I was so lazy last Thursday. It was like, oh my God, I have to get dressed. And then I saw where it was, and it's downtown in one of the best posh hotels, and the best restaurant is, and I was on the tower when I got there. But you know, I was thinking about just canceling, really, because my laziness was pulling me, right? I got so much to do, right? So I was on the opposite side of Aparigraha. I was not going to take the opportunity. I was going to seize the opportunity of being lazy and not go. When I finally got there, I was amazed at all the intellects. And my friend starts introducing me to everybody, you know, oh, my husband's a retired judge. Oh, hello, my husband is blah, 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 and my husband is blah, 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 and Tony Robbins and all this. I'm going like, whoa. I was totally, you know, just floored, literally floored. And the service that we got there, of course, you know, the people that were serving us were like, you know, they give good tips and stuff, but it was just amazing. And it's an amazing thing, and I learned so much. I opened my world. I didn't even know it was out there. Every day, I wake up and I say, Lord, let me learn more than I know today. I opened my world. But I was in Aparigraha. I was going to seize the opportunity of being lazy. Yeah? So you've got to be real careful that you are not falling into your laziness. I remind you again, why were these teachings created, and who were they created for?
Men.
Men, because normally men are more likely to say yes. And royalty, because why? And successful people, why? Because they go beyond. They're the 90, they don't live in that 98%, they live in the 2%. Does that make sense? You cannot become a millionaire sitting behind your computer. I mean, you can, it's very rare, but you know, if you're not going to get out there and meet people and put yourself on the line, it's not going to happen. Now, let me tell you another thing. Then there's people like myself, because there's a whole bunch of people. Like right now, I'm going to network events because I am looking for an intern to work for my business, right? And I'm actively looking, so I'm looking. Who's taking advantage? So I'm going to networking. I'm holding a, you know, Empowering Latina event. I'm networking because I want to see, because I'm ready to hire 1 to 10 interns to help me grow my business. That's how fast it's growing, guys. All right? So I'm actively looking. I'm not the only one out there like that. There's a lot of people out there. And so girls and guys, I'm going to tell you, if you guys don't start taking a look and taking advantage of an opportunity instead of seizing the situation and being lazy, you're not going to get any further than where you are. You've got to get out of that comfort zone. Yes?
Yes.
God, Missy says it's so hard. It's just easy just to sit here, go home and do my homework, come back to school and blame somebody else. Because that's the world you guys are all living in. You've got to get out of that world, people. You've got to get out of that world. And that's what the yogic teachings tell you. Get out of your world. If you don't do it now that you're young, when you're 50, it's going to be even harder. It's going to be even harder. Right? You guys need to get out there. Because you've got to remember this thing. More than 90% of the people out there are actively looking for good people. People that have businesses. People that, besides the fact that I'm a business, I am actually contracted by 2 other women who have other businesses, and I do the hiring for them. So when I'm actively looking, I'm not just actively looking for my business. I'm looking for 2 other women that don't have to look, don't have the time to look. They've contracted me to do that for them. So I'm always with my little antennas. Right? Now, 70%, I am 70%, and let me tell you this, right? I always am, because my husband is the CFO of Accion San Diego, a microfinance lending company, okay? And they're always looking for interns. Always. And they want bilingual interns. So I'm always radar. Ooh, that would be a good one, right? And you guys wouldn't even know that. But if people, so I send out these emails and people don't respond, but I have had 2 people respond, and those 2 people have awesome jobs that they never thought they could have. And then you never know who calls me. Let me give you another example. I get a phone call from a guy that owns a business in Tijuana. He owns a slew of gyms in Tijuana. And he says, hey, I took your spin class the other day and blah, 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 and I like the way you are and you speak English and blah, 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 and I'm looking for 5 people. Can you help me find 5 good people? And can you interview them for me in English and listen to them and see if they speak Spanish? And are they good in what they do? Right? You never know. You would look at me and say, oh, yes, doesn't know anything. Right? So far, I have 3 people hired for him. Right? So you never know. You never know unless you step out of your comfort zone, people. You've got to step out of your comfort zone. Right? And I was going to say again, over 60% of the population is over the age of 40. Let me say that again. Over 60% of the population is over the age of 40. Does that mean anything to you? That means who in the heck are you going to have to go stand in front of if you want a job? Somebody over 40! And if you don't get out of your comfort zone, they're not going to take a look at you. And it goes everywhere. My daughter works at SeaWorld. So what happened? The other day she comes to me and she says, Mom, and I said, get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. You go find out who the supervisor is. You go find out who the head of human resources is, and you ask her, form her, and ask her what she likes. And then the next day, you go and buy that for her. Not for any other reason other than you want to be nice. My daughter's like, "Ay, Mom." She sounds like you guys. She's around your age. So what does she do? She goes and does it. She goes, Mom, look at this really cool little, gadget thing. I thought it would be good for her desk, and I got it for her. I said, cool, mija. That's awesome. 2.5 weeks later, she texts me and she says, Mom, guess what? I said, what, mija? She says, they came to find me throughout all of the park, and they asked me if I was interested in getting trained to be a supervisor. And even better, they asked me if I wanted to feed the animals. You need to understand that they don't ask you to feed the animals at SeaWorld unless you are totally being watched and totally in that space of that they trust you.